What's going on, PWC fans? It is your boy, Frank and the Furious, bringing you the Week 1 Power Rankings for Season 5. I am glad to bring this to you today, and this will be the first Power Rankings in which I will be using a system for this. Post-draft is just kind of fun ranking teams, how I believe they have been built. However, from here on out, these are how I'm judging each coach to be playing. It does not have anything to do with their team. Maybe the team that they brought, but not their team as in who they have on it. So yeah. Alright. Before we jump into this, I want to explain myself first. I will be using a semi-formulaic system for the power rankings, so I don't get any knee-jerk reactions. If a coach has a good week and then the next week he just gets 6-0'd or something, I don't want there to be a knee-jerk where it drops down the standings. So right now, week 1's kind of hard to base it off of because this is the first time I've seen many coaches play. So some might be lower than what they honestly maybe should be, and some may be higher than what they should be. But we will have a market correction at some point in the season. That's what I call it. So yeah, always take these with a grain of salt. These are my opinions on how I think everyone's doing. And yeah, let's just jump right into this now. Someone's got to be last, and I'm sorry, Sully, but the Anchorage Appletons did not have a good week, to say the very least. I was not impressed with what was going on with Sully. First thing, the game starts out. You are not the only coach to do this, but remember your abilities when jumping into a match. It is something you almost always forget about. I've done it myself. You don't have to go in and edit it like it's an item or an EV. No. It's easy to forget, but always double check your abilities. And if you're wondering what the match was, by the way, I will leave all the matches down in the description below so you can give it a watch. But Scolipede came, and Scolipede was Poison Point, not Speed Boost. So, yeah. But back to the idea of Scolipede. Even without Speed Boost, I think Scolipede came out too early, because from what it sounds like, Sully expected Speed Boost until Scully hit the field. And when Scully hit the field, I did not think that was a good time to hit the field. It's looking right at a Bisharp. Bisharp really put in work against this match. It made me eat my words, but we'll get into that later. I don't think Sully played very well around Bisharp. I think he let it just really dominate the game a little too much. Let it get up hazards. Kept repeating knockoffs. Ends up knocking off Vaporeon's leftovers, which I think was very crucial. Without the lefties, especially for a team that does not have the defense that Sully does, losing the lefties on Vaporeon really, really hurt. But yeah, I don't think he played very well around Bisharp. I think he really just let this thing put so much chip on him. Basically gets rid of Scolipede, reduces Vaporeon's effectiveness. And he really let hazards really whittle him down. After that, Stealth Rocks went up early. You could tell he did not have a way to get rid of them because it was just constant taking Stealth Rocks. And if I'm trying to remember correctly, his only defogger this week would have been Decidua, and I do not remember if he brought it or not. But he was never able to get rocks off the field, and that really hurt him. Scolipede was basically done. Zoroark was easy to pickpocket, which I also did not like how he played Zoroark. He made it disguised as his Vaporeon. I did not think that was the play. Sully, tell me why below you chose Vaporeon to be your, you chose Vaporeon to be Zoroark's disguise this week. But I didn't think that was the play. I think Lop might have been a little bit better, especially with Mega Medicham there. Scare that off. But, I just do not think this was a good week for Sully at all. Vaporeon really got bullied. Heatran only came in last minute to die. Zoroark really did not do much. And Mega Medicham just really wrecked his house. I think Vaporeon died at like 74% from a high jump kick. Mega Medicham came for a kill and it got it. So, I just do not think Sully prepped well. I don't think he played well. This was not his match. But moving on to number 13, we got the Judging Obstagoons. And I would like to say here, Coach DTN, you are the only coach who did not give me his team. I really cannot give you any credit for what you're planning to do. I really do not understand a lot of your plays, why you're doing them. But from the moment this match starts up, DTN was a little too quick with a lot of his plays. Halucha comes out very early. Already, the chopper was burned on Empoleon. I understand a little bit what he's doing, but when you have Halucha with I don't remember what the seeds are, but with the seeds under terrain, you don't want to burn that immediately because you want that to be the end game. So I do not think this was. I think Halucha came out way too early, and in a way, it kind of, I wouldn't say crippled Halucha, but Keto played well. He realized that, hey, Halucha's sitting in front of me. I don't want to get this thing momentum, and he brought, I assume, the Chopple for Halucha, but it works out well on the other side. But we'll get to Keto and his plays later. But DTN, I really just do not think. I think he was very quick in this match. And I think he kind of forgot some things too, like when Swellow picks up the kill against Drifblim. I don't think he remembered that, yeah, Swellow gets scrappy. So it's going to hit your ghost types. And we do see later in the game, Galarian Slowking does take a Boom Burst very well. So, Drifblim kind of gets wasted. And, you know, he really just kind of paved the way for Latias to finish the game. DTN really just, this was, for a Rillaboom Halucha terrain team, I was very not impressed this week. I think there was a lot more that could have been done. Alomomola, I'm not a fan of that Pokemon, and I think this week kind of shows why, that it was super easy to set up on. And this was just not DNT's week. Hopefully he can bounce back week 1. Maybe it's just he's getting used to his sort of team. So for week 1, always got to take everything with a grain of salt because coaches are getting to use their teams for the first time. And this may have been the case with DTN because it really didn't feel like he was comfortable with this team. But moving on to number 12, we got Caracasa, coach of the Grounded Gibbles. And the Gibbles also did not have a great match, to say the very least. And like Sully, remember your abilities. Let me tell you, Damp Rock, Water Absorbed Politoed did not impress me. So, always check your abilities, guys. Always, right before a match, just take a double check. Alright, that, got it. Especially when they hinge so much on your team, like how it seemed for Caracasa this week with Rain. He had Mega Swampert there. Tapu Koko had some fun sets under Rain. This seems like a team that needed Rain. And already going into the match, he has to play different because he's not getting that Rain anymore from Politoed at the very least. But turn 1 really sets the tone against the game, and I cannot fault Caracasa for the Scarf Latios that ends up killing Mienshao turn 1, but it does really hurt. And he did end up telling me after the match that he did have a gut feeling it would have been Scarf, so my advice to you, always go with your gut. If you think you're looking at this thing and you're like, it might be Scarf, you know what, it does not hurt to double check, especially turn 1. Because losing Mienshao really set the tone of the game. It took a major form of his offense out. Another problem I had is his handling of Rotom Mow with Landorus. He lets Landorus get burnt very easily, and he could have just went for the kill there. I understand he wants rocks up, but I think he should have went for the kill there, especially after seeing Rotom Mow having Will-O-Wisp, and Landorus has now been pushed into a role where it has to provide some sort of offense now without Mienshao, so letting it get burnt just allows for another Pokemon to be a sitting duck for something like Clefable, or as we see in this match, Suicune really starts putting in some work against them. But Umbreon really kind of also struggled against the likes of Clefable. It was just not... he was not on his game this week, to say the very least. But he should have went for the kill against Rotom Mow. Allowing Landorus to get burnt really hurts. He ends up having the Scarf Tapu Koko for the potential Mega Aerodactyl, which I would like to give props to. Good play, but it does not really come into play here. And it kind of hurts him more than it helps him in this match because when Gligar's there, and, you know, Rotom Mow's there, he's got 2 excellent Volt Switch switch-ins, and I do not remember if he was U-turned or not, but Still, that's the one drawback of being choice, because if they have a good matchup against that Pokemon, then it can really be a struggle being choiced against it, because you're going to have to pay back your own momentum sometimes. But yeah, my final note in Caracasa: remember your abilities, please, for the love of God. Remember, for the love of Arceus, remember your abilities. But moving on to number 11, we got Coach Tenshi and the Shonen Blacklist. Now, Tenshi this week, you know what? I'm going to start off with cutting him some slack here. Looking at the team matchup, Tenshi just had a terrible matchup against the Old English SQ. It just, looking on paper, it was not a good matchup for him. Because you look at Tenshi's team, he's a 1v1 team. He's got a lot of these wall breakers, heavy hitters. We're going to get in, get out. Gert Bilbo has like the perfect Pokemon to completely wall out Tenshi. And you know what? I can't blame him too much. He definitely was trying to make some moves, but a little bit of luck did not go his way. He ends up getting a discharge paralysis. I believe that happened on Mega Gardevoir, and a static paralysis that happens on Urshifu. Well, yes, good play by Gert Bilbo to bring those, but hey, he's got to be a little lucky to get those. So, a little bit bad luck with Tenshi for that. But early on, with his play with Delmise, I was kind of very iffy on, especially with Bolton. I question why Bolton came this week. I think he could have had some better mons, like Salamence coming. I think Gert Bilbo, in his video, he says he was confused by Bolton. I agree with him. I don't think that was the play, and early on, we see Bolton gone. It's already a 6v5. So, I was not a fan of Bolton this matchup, and I think it proved why. And Passimian really proved to become a problem for him, because he did not have any reliable switch into a knockoff Passimian. Delmai was taking big damage, sacks Bolton to it, and at that point, like, you can't intimidate it with Incineroar. It's got Defiant. So Passimian really became a problem for him, but early on, that is, you could really tell with the way he was playing. So I don't think he had good prep there for it. And like I said, his wall breakers got walled. Made Gardevoir. Made Gardevoir hits almost everything hard. What doesn't it hit hard? A Chansey. Chansey's right there. He could have been a setup Calm Mindset, but well, like a sub Calm Mind, but then you're not getting any recovery from Made Gardevoir, so you're in icky territory already. Oh, Mamoswine. Mamoswine's it always picks up a kill when it's in. Oh, he's got Mega Venusaur with Thick Fat. He's already gotten his Mega off. Well, actually, he didn't get his Mega off, but like, you know what I mean. He's got Swampert there with the Rocky Helmet. Ends up getting Chip on Mamo. And has to pressure it out, because I do not believe Tenshi had Freeze Dry on it. But even then, if you don't pick up the kill with Freeze Dry, do you really want to take a Scald to the face with your Mamoswine? Because if it gets burnt, then that's bad news bears. But it was just a plain bad matchup, so I can't really fault him too much. But Urshifu, lackluster week, but the one appearance it makes, it gets paralyzed on a unlucky static play. So Tenshi did not have good luck when prepping or playing. It was just not an overall good week. I believe he's going to bounce back next week. I just think this was going to be his boogeyman this season. This was the team that was going to give him problems, and he's already done with it week 1, so now he can move forward after this. Moving on to number 10 is probably the biggest question you, the viewer, are asking if you have not watched this match. So, Coach Reckless of the Awesome Ducks at number 10, as you see, got 6-0'd. I probably wonder, Frank, you're a madman. Why are you putting someone who got 6-0'd at number 10? This was not a pretty game to watch. To start the season, this was just an ugly game from top to bottom. It's basically over very quickly. So to recap, some unfortunate misses by Hurricane Torrent from Reckless really allow Superior to just become a massive problem. Now, Hurricane is 70% accurate. And you may be saying, yeah, you gotta expect to miss a couple. But he only hit 1 out of 3. So you got to think he should have hit at least one of those other ones he missed, and then it could have helped change the course of the game, especially if it's the first, because I end up running some calcs with their team. Torrent picks up the kill there if he does land the first Hurricane against Superior, or if not, Superior cannot sub again at the very least. He has to keep pressuring it. It changes the match completely if he gets that hit. But I can't cut him I can't cut him a lot of slack because he did let Superior end up getting to +4 before Torrent comes in. He does let it kind of become an issue. He ends up having the Magneton there, which can take a Leaf Storm, but can't really do much back without hurting itself. Torrent, I think, just came in a little too late. I think he should have hard pressed it in, especially after I can understand he not wanting to get paralyzed, but at that point, when you look at his team, everything's slower. I do not agree with Alolan Marowak becoming his counter to Surf, and that was good prep by Trinell. I assume calling that play that, okay, so if he's going to probably wall me, if it's not Torrent, it's probably going to be Alolan Marowak. So I would say good play there, but I really do not think that was a play at all to have Alolan Marowak kind of be your dedicated Surf answer, especially when your only way of touching it is a recoil move. So yeah, that's my criticisms, but you know what? Poor Luck really just shot him in the foot. Luck was not on his side. Lord Arceus decided to smite this coach this week. So Reckless, I do not think will be down here for long. I think he's better than what this week's shown. His prep definitely showed it from what I viewed. I think Reckless is going to bounce back. He's definitely got the tools too, so he's not going to be at number 10 for long. He's not going to be below number 10, I believe. But yeah, just rotten luck that ends up happening very early on, and I can't blame him. So 10, it's the highest I can bring him up, because from the limited game that I've seen, he definitely kind of showed what he was doing. So I can't fault him too much, but this is the highest I can bring him. So moving on to number 9, we got Coach Firemaster of the San Francisco Celebi. Now, he plays a close game this week, but I really, at no point in this match did I think Firemaster was in it. I think KW just had this match by the reins, and I really didn't think Firemaster I don't want to say had a chance, but momentum was not on his side for, I would say, almost the whole battle. He was just out-prepped. And you know what? It was just not a good game for him. But he lets his bulky mons get gets whittled fast. Mega Heracross ends up going down very low soon. Ferrothorn ends up trading basically with Urshifu. It weakens it weakens KW's Urshifu heavily. Excuse me. But it was a good play by him, though, to help get rid of Urshifu. That's a major form of offense for KW, but he also has another major form of offense, which shows this match, and Aegislash kind of causes an issue this week, and so does Mega Banette for him. Mega Banette, we'll get more into that later, but Aegislash really caused a problem for him, especially when he's in with Aerodactyl. Aegislash comes in on the switch and he clicks Dragon Dance with Aerodactyl. I do not think that was the play. I do not think that was even the set to bring. I did not like a DD matchup I did not like a DD set for this matchup. I really didn't think it worked well, and I think this week showed why I don't think Aerodactyl should be the signature of this team. It looked like a liability for the whole match. It just basically it was a 5v6 because Mega Aerodactyl at no point did I think was going to put in any sort of work. I was not a fan of this. But yeah, Alakazam, he ends up letting that get weakened, and its Sash gets broken, and that seemed to be his major form of getting rid of something like Aegislash or Mega Banette. But yeah, this was not a good week. Not a good week for Firemaster. He just lets his team get whittled very quickly, and like I said, I don't think the momentum was ever on his side for this battle. But it was a rough week, and I think his team does need some changes looking after this, especially with Mega Aerodactyl. I was not satisfied with it. But yeah, he really, anytime he could have gotten momentum, he kind of stepped back and released off the gas, or maybe made a too aggressive play, like DD Aerodactyl. A little aggressive there, especially when, yeah, you look at KW's team, who's probably coming in. Yeah, Aegislash makes a lot of sense. Because even if you click Earthquake, it's still in its defensive variant. It's going to take the hit well. So yeah, I just was not a fan of that. But moving on to number 8, we have Coach Capador, coach of the New York Metas. Now, okay, this match was, you were on the edge of the seat for this entire match. Cap made some good prep. I liked Trapper Finny. A Trapper Tapu Finny to help get rid of Skarmory and other things that Melmetal could not get rid of. I really liked it. But it does end up working. However, once Skarmory's gone, you think Melmetal and Donphan would have been preserved, but Capador just seems to kind of waste them away after that. It just kind of seems Melmetal and Donphan were expendable when you just got rid of his major form of dealing with them in Skarmory. So that was a very strange set of plays. Like, kudos to getting rid of the Skarm, but what did that really do? Because, what, now Shaman has value, but Blissey's still there. So, I just, those were some plays I really liked, and then I was really confused by. But, back to the compliments. I like the Discharge Melmetal to get around a Rocky Helmet Skarmory. I think that was good prep. It seemed like he was going for Paralysis on it, but never got it, so unfortunate, but good prep on his part, to say the very least. I did like that. But there's a major mod I haven't mentioned yet that really becomes a problem for Cap, and that is Alolan Muck. Just really becomes a massive issue because he lets Donphan get weakened very early. So already, one of his major checks to it is kind of out of the match, or at least not out of the match, but it cannot come in on a switch in and take a hit. It's already taken a lot of hits already. Hazards are up on Cap's side of the field. That's another negative I've had. Hazards really kind of did him in. Court Change, I think he should have had a better form. He did have a Rapid Spin on Donphan, but never ends up clicking it. So he should have at some point, because this was not a good match by Cap. Or that was not a good play by Cap, I mean, by not getting rid of the double spike that was on his side. But Alolan Muck really just became a problem. And in the mid game, when Alolan Muck just starts picking up kills, I was super confused what he's doing. Like, he sacks Donphan to it, he sacks Melmetal to it, and then he lets Shaman gets heavily weakened by it, and he could have went into Cinderace and finished it off. I don't know what's going on through his mind there, but you've seen the Assault Vest, I assume, because it's taking hits from Shaman and Tapu Fini. You've seen the Assault Vest. So now, why are you continuing to either pressure it with Mons, who are slower and weakened, or special Mons, as in Shaman? He should have just went into Cinderace and clicked Pyro Ball. Yeah, Quagsire may come in, but it's better than the alternative of just sacking things. So that is another play. Just another set of plays. Cap's week was he would have a good set of plays and then bad set of plays. It was back and forth with Cap. But in the end, his prep does kind of show to kind of work out well, because this match gets a lot closer than I think Coach Gill wants this to be. So moving on to number 7, we had his opponent for the week, and that is Gil, coach of the FC Victini Pilsen. This was like I said, this was a fun match to watch, very back and forth. But I think at the end, this was a lot closer for Gil than it should have been. Gil has this match wrapped up in the bag, basically, when he's just looking at Cinderace, and now things just start picking up kills against it. Quagsire is still very weakened, and he ends up with Zeora, puts it in Blaze range, so it picks up the kill against Quagsire. It was a crit, but I don't think it mattered at that range, unless it was like a really low roll. But then again, the odds are weird. So, yeah, this match gets really close. Activating Blaze puts Cap back into the game, and especially letting Quagsire be weakened in the end game when Cinderace has barely touched the field. But back to moving to the pros, Alolan Muck, he really just knew how to play with it this week. He read Cap on every single play. Okay, I'm just going to keep clicking knockoff until Melmetal's gone, basically. Until I don't have to worry about it. He calls him every time, and then once Melmetal's gone, he's like, alright, save the Poison Jab. Poison Jab picks up the kill on Finny. You know, good plays with Muck. He read Cap perfectly by clicking knockoff. Like I said, didn't get a little greedy, say, well, maybe he'll stay in, I'll Poison Jab. No, he never let Melmetal come in for free. And I think that's another major thing for him, for his win this week, is he never let Melmetal click a move for free. Or if he did, then it wasn't a powerful move like Discharge on Skarmory. He never let it do double Iron Bash. He never let it click Earthquake or anything. I don't even know if Cap brought Earthquake, but you know what I mean for this match. But, like I said, Gil made this match a little too close for comfort for him. But he does end up picking up the win at the end of the day with Felicity. I did not think that would be the last Mon on the field, but you know what? He made me eat my words this week. His stall variants did kind of work, even though Skarmory does get trapped and get rid of. Using Blissey with Wish to heal up Alolan Muck was definitely very good prep and play on his part. He realized how important Alolan Muck is, and he keeps it healthy throughout the entire match. So, props to Gil for that prep. Savali Ghost was very interesting. He ends up bringing it for, he told me about this. He brought it for Mega Gallade, which I'm still, I don't know if Ghost was the play, but still, good prep there. It's a special Savali variant. I think an SD1 might have been better, but who am I to judge? Who am I to judge about this? But yeah, close match. These two played really well, but also had plays where you kind of left scratching your head about what they're kind of doing, especially with one last thing. Gil, he's already seen the Whirlpool on Tapu Fini, and he stays in with Skarmory and doesn't go out to Alolan Muck to pressure it even more. He kind of just lets Skarmory die. And I don't know how much I'm a fan of that, but I do not think that was a good plan on his part. But Gil won. He played well. He ended up getting the job done. Good prep on his part. But yeah, moving on to number 6, we got the Begone Thought Cricketot, Coach Prof. Now you're probably wondering, you got a 5 differential team here. Well, for this match, Prof does get a +5 for this match. So that's good for differential and everything. I don't think Prof was amazing. I think he played well. Don't get me wrong. I think he got the job done. He was effective early with Raikou and his Stealth Rocks. He gets up rocks early, realizing Sully can't really defog unless Decidueye comes out. Even then, Decidueye comes out. He has so many different forms of pressuring it, and the major one being Bisharp. So if Sully defogs, then he can let the momentum swing back his way for Prof. But definitely effective with Raikou realizing, oh, he didn't bring his ground type. Claydol's not here. Decidueye is the only resist. I can just Volt Switch the whole time. Ends up bringing a Scarf Raikou to, I assume, do exactly what he planned it to do and knock out Lopunny or a Speed Boost Scolipede after one. So, good prep on his part. But it kind of becomes a little strange in the mid-game because there's a lot of antics between Raikou and Vaporeon mid-game because Prof, since he's choice, he can't really click T-Bolt, then Volt Switch out, so Vaporeon's just kind of sitting in and healing, and it's just kind of becoming a problem for Prof in the middle of the game. It's just, he's kind of letting Raikou get weakened, but I can't fault him too much because Raikou doesn't really need to take the hits, it just needs to dish him out. But Mega Magicham did an excellent job breaking down Vaporeon with high jump kick, getting rid of it. Oh, Sully's only form of defense. But yeah, Scarf Raikou was a really good play, I believe. And yeah, Prop played well, but I think the differential does kind of overinflate the game. He played well, but this makes it seem like it was an utter domination. But it was a good game for Prof. I cannot fault him there. I'm not saying he played bad, but I just don't. I think the differential could have been closer. It just seems a little over bloated. But moving on to number 5, we got the Umbreon Calcio. I don't really know Italian very well. That's the Italian word for sucker. I'm sorry. So Calcio, the Umbreon Calcio, Coach Jules. Jules played a very effective game this week and ends up putting in a good amount of work with Suicune, despite looking at a Tapu Koko. So props to him there. Gligar was a very good counter on Tapu Koko, and he used it effectively. Clefable, I had my questions about being a Wish Unaware set. Now, I can understand being a Wish, and I can understand being an Unaware, but when you don't have Soft Boiled or another way to recover, it's outside of Wish with Clef as Unaware, I was really not a fan of that. I don't think that was, I do not think that was the play on his part. But I assume the Unaware Clef was for something like an SD Landorus or maybe like a Power Up Punch Mega Swap or just something to kind of say, nah, you're not going to set up on me. But the Wish part, Wish Unaware, I was confused about. But like I said, he played an all-around solid game, and he really set the tone turn 1 when he reveals Scarf Latios to take out the Scarf Mienshao on the other side. So good prep by Jules there. Excellent prep. I assume the Scarf Latios is mainly for Tapu Koko, but that was still good prep for Mienshao in case it was Scarf. Hey, this thing is a problem. I used it last season. It clicks high jump kick for free almost all the time. This thing is really good. So he does an excellent job just saying, yeah, I'm taking it out early. Lead Latios, click Side Shock, it's over with. It's definitely very good prep on his part. But it's not really a negative I had, but I think he could have been a Trick Latios because he was just 4 attacks. I think he could have been a Trick Trick set, especially with an Umbreon there, which, if there is a Pokemon that is begging to be tricked more, it is Umbreon. Especially when you have Latios there. Umbreon is the brain dead switch in. So, tricking your Scarf over to Umbreon, now that you're kind of done with it, then I think he could have done that, but it's not really more of a negative, just more of what I would have done. But yeah, I think this was just an all-around good game by Jules. Definitely good job burning the Landorus T with Rotom. Kind of going for the sack, but saying, "Oh right, if you mess up here, I'm gonna punish you with a burn." Ends up catching him. He does benefit from a little bit of misprep on Caracasa's part, but I do not think it was. I don't think it was indicative. Jules only won because no, he played a good game. He played a good game. Realizes when Suicune was good. Uses Suicune pressure, sets up behind a sub, especially since Umbreon really cannot have a good way of getting a Pokemon out from behind a sub, like a setup variant. It is not Umbreon's forte, but good prep by Jules, good play by Jules. Overall, solid week for him. Well, moving on to number 4, we got the dirty man himself, Trenel and the Turbingen Trevenant. Sorry if I'm pronouncing any team names wrong. I only know the freedom words, so European words are not on my radar. But Trenel, it is I hate that this had to happen week 1 because this just feels icky. I hate having to rank this now. I have to start the rankings off with a very haxy match because Trenel does benefit from good luck on his side. 2 Hurricane misses, a paralysis. Superior looking primed and ready to just click Leaf Storm and end the battle. And you know what? The stars just align for all that to happen. But that's a major con for me, is that he was very lucky. But in the limited time I saw, he definitely he realized what worked and what didn't with Superior. He's like, okay, I can click Leaf Storm here, and I can kind of scout what you're going to kind of deal with this thing. And then when he sees Alola Marowak, he kind of realizes, I could kind of set up right now and really punch a hole. I could really cause him a bit of a problem right now. So definitely good play on his part with there. Uh, but he does benefit from good luck, I have to say. And he did play a little scummy. I won't lie. Play a little scummy. Getting glaring the taunt and then just continuing to press sub. I'm not a fan of that. I understand it works. Not a fan of it though. So yeah. I'm gonna call it scummy, but it won him the match. So I cannot say, oh, it was a bad play. No, it was a good play by him. Definitely a good play. But yeah, it's really tough to kind of seed Trennel because, like I said, this match was super hacksy and was over very quickly without any tainted meat being in this match. So, you know what? We'll have them for, hopefully we have a market correction next week. Trennel gets to play a good match, Reckless gets to play a good match, and hopefully Hacks does not ruin it. But this match was definitely tough to watch if you're supporting Reckless. It's just tough to watch in general. What am I saying? You're just watching misses and paralysis, and you're just like, all right, let's just end it already. But yeah, I see him here at 4 from the limited plays before everything kind of the shit hits the fan. I'm putting him at number 4. But yeah, it's tough to rank him after week 1. Well, moving on to number 3, we're gonna have a less hacksy battle, and that is Coach Keto. Coach of the Empoleon Conquerors, plays a very well game, I would like to say. Keto, you know what? A good prep on his part with the Choppleberry Empoleon, an offensive Empoleon. With that, realizing, oh yeah, I guess Rillaboom and Hawlucha, both their main ways of touching me are fighting type moves. If I run Choppleberry, I can at least say, yeah, you're going to weaken me, but I'm going to take you down with me. And that definitely was an effective way of getting rid of Lucha Terrain and allowing that to not become a problem anymore. So good Empoleon prep. And he played very well with Latias, really just paving the way for Latias to finish it in the end game. Ends up getting rid of stuff like Hawlucha, which would have pressured it offensively. Drifblim ends up going down and weakening Galarian Slowking. But yeah, good prep on his part to definitely weaken things that Latias could have an issue to. My one kind of me being not hypocritical, but me being critical is with his Mega Absol play. I don't think he really played kind of well with it. Kind of sacks it in the end game, it seems. Whereas he comes in, sets up an SD, and in comes an Alomomola, gets a Scald off, and he gets a little lucky not getting the burn. It sets up another SD, clicks knockoff, and I don't think Alomomola had an item. Like I said, DTN did not send me his team, so I don't know if Alomomola had an item, but I do not remember a knockoff getting rid of his item, so yeah. But I like his bring of Hitmonlee with the potential idea of, I could abuse your terrain. I do not remember what item the Hitmonlee was, but definitely a good idea to put in the head of DTN, where it's like, yeah, maybe you not want to set up terrain because I might take advantage of it for myself. But yeah, Absol was kind of really my only downside. Keto played a very good game. Really just kind of paved the end game for Latias to really take the reins and finish this match. Good game by him from turn 1 to the final turn of the game. Good prep, good play, all around good game. Keto definitely maybe my runs with the Empoleon as the signature this week definitely proved to be very good. So yeah, good job on that. Moving to the top 2, at number 2, I have the VA Litwicks Coach KW Dog. KW played incredible. KW, I would also like to say, from like number 6 to number 1, it is all very close. I think a lot of the coaches that won, I think the correct coach won for all these weeks. Everyone played very well. but it's very close for a lot of these. It's the first time I've seen them play, so like I said, take this with a grain of salt. But KW played very well with this. Reading Firemaster super well. And like I said, as a negative for Firemaster, but a positive for KW was, at no point did I think KW was in jeopardy. He just played a very solid game where he just controlled it. He made good reads, but smart reads. Now, kind of risky. There is risk, but he made very smart reads. Excellent Mega Bonnet prep. I'm not a fan of Mega Bonnet, but this week definitely gave me a little hope to see this more. The Destiny Bond I do like on it. It ends up taking down, who was that? Alakazam, I believe? Or no, it was Chandelure. Ends up taking down Chandelure with it. Really just kind of ending the match right then and there. It was kind of done beforehand, but good prep with Mega Bonnet. I did like it. Like his prep with there. Now, a Specs Aegislash was very interesting. Definitely puts the pressure on Firemaster because his only major form of defense was Ferrothorn. And if you're special, you kind of don't have to worry about Iron Barbs. So Aegislash really put in some good work. Nidoqueen never even hit the field, I believe. And Lycanroc Midday, I would like to compliment this set. Especially coming in, getting up those rocks. And yeah, I think that was big for him, getting up those hazards. Because it really just now weakens everything coming in. So good prep with the Lycanroc. I like that. And he really takes Firemaster's defense out of the game early, getting rid of, basically trading Urshifu for Ferrothorn, which I could see as a negative for him, getting rid of Urshifu, but he had a lot of other good forms of offense with Aegislash, with Togekiss, with Mega Bonnet there, where I did not feel like it was a negative that Urshifu's gone. He still has ways to win this game and command this game, but Urshifu did its job, gets rid of Ferrothorn, and all around, I really like this game. Like I said, at no point did I think KW was out of it. At no point did I think KW was not in control. I think he grabbed the reins of this game from turn one and rode it to the end. But yeah, KW, definitely a very good game out of him. But at number one, you see, I have Coach Gert Bilbo in the Old English SQ, and let me just say, this was an excellent game by Gert Bilbo. I would like to say I ended up watching a bit of his commentary, got a little insight on his team, but excellent prep on his part. He realized, hey, I got the walls for this game, and brings Chansey, brings Mega Venusaur, brings a bulky Zapdos, brings a Swampert. And his early game, he played super well with Passimian, kind of realizing that it's like, yeah, Tenchi struggles against this thing. Brings it in, starts knocking things off, gets rid of Bolton early. Already Tenchi's down a Pokemon. Excellent play with Passimian. And Zapdos, fun prep with the, well, you could say it's not fun, but the Discharge and Static combo, basically kind of neutering Teshi's major forms of offense with Mega Gardevoir, Urshifu Rapid Strike, getting those paralysis off on them, and just overall good prep on his part. The Mega Venusaur ends up having good coverage, getting rid of the team, kind of not sweeping, but cleaning up at the end. Spectre never even hits the field, I would like to say, but yeah, Mega Venusaur, he did an excellent job at kind of paving the way for this to be the Pokemon to finish things out. Mega Gardevoir is paralyzed, and then it gets knocked out by Chansey. Incineroar can't really touch me, so yeah, I can just click Earth Power here. Gert Bilbo, excellent prep on his part, excellent plays. Swampert, Rocky Helmet, good play for Mamoswine, because Mamoswine is a Pokemon that, it is tough to switch into, and he kind of made Mamoswine pay a little bit with the Rocky Helmet on Swampert, and now he pressures it with Water-type moves. But yeah, good prep on Gert Bilbo, excellent prep, excellent plays, overall amazing week for him. But yeah, those have been the Week 1 Power Rankings. Now, this, like I said before, this is the first time I've seen a lot of these coaches play, so hopefully it's mid-season. We'll have a bit of a market correction. We'll see who's playing really well and who did I overrate and who did I underrate. We're going to find that out as the weeks go along. But I would like to thank you all for watching. But above all else, stay supporting the PWC Season 3 and stay tuned for next Sunday for Week 2. Thank you for watching.